So the SDGs, it's like the universal global agenda for what we want to do by the year 2030, but who's going to do it? So that's the question we set out to answer with the map. And in Canada, a lot of the people that are actually going to carry it out are already working on this. And what we did is we found out that there's a lot of sub-national players, either at the provincial or even local scale, that are working on the SDGs. And by mapping them, we can figure out who's in position to actually get the global goals accomplished. What's really key to understand is that we're not starting from scratch.
It's a map that's being built based on 193 countries coming together and agreeing on 17 goals.
At the launch of the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015, our minds turned to how do we get this done? And at BCCIC, we decided to take an appreciative approach. The goals may be new, but we knew that the work they called for was not. So we travelled throughout British Columbia, we visited 29 communities, we held 31 roundtables to find out what British Columbians thought about the goals, who was already taking action, and what opportunities they saw in them. And when we thought we were going to meet with hundreds of groups, we actually found there were thousands of organisations all throughout British Columbia whose work was already advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. And community after community, everyone identified groups who are working on every single one of these goals. And in Victoria, one participant told us it was like there was an invisible mosaic of groups in their community that even they were not aware of, who were already moving this agenda forward. So the idea for the map was to reveal this invisible mosaic, to provide an online tool that would allow groups to connect, collaborate, share resources, support the work of groups who are advancing the Sustainable Development Goals.
You know, the impact of doing this map is that it's actually a prototype that could be used anywhere in the world, because this question of who is going to carry out the goals at a sub-national scale, that's something that is being asked all around the world, and people are tackling this in different ways. Our methodology, I think, is exemplary for other people to look at and go, geez, maybe we could map our local area as well, and together we can create a bigger map of who's doing this on the planet so we know who we can count on to be able to get these goals done.
From a functionality perspective, it's really going to be a useful tool for people who might be new to the city, people who aren't aware of the organizations who are doing work in their field, and that they can collaborate with, that they can partner with, that they can engage with, and that they can connect with.
This map enables organizations to connect with other organizations that are working on similar goals, or even different goals, but they can connect with organizations that have expertise in a particular area that they lack.
Having worked with nonprofits in the past, I definitely see the value for nonprofit organizations to build connections with each other and to network with each other.
Go onto the map and you can search by criteria or by SDG, for SDG 13 perhaps, and see the organizations that pop up that are working in the field that you're interested in. The map really changes the way and will change the way that people can engage with something as global and theoretical as the Sustainable Development Goals.
Last week I spoke to someone who worked for a cycling organisation and someone who worked for surf riders, so like an ocean group, and it was great to see them together and discussing the same sort of problems.
So we're already starting to see the map have an impact even before it's been fully launched. We've been hearing from volunteers, from other CSOs, professionals, especially those new to Vancouver and to BC, who are using the map to connect with groups, from students who become interested in Sustainable Development Goals and want to find organisations who are working on the goals that they're passionate about. We're also seeing the impact and the potential impact of the map to support consultations around the Sustainable Development Goals as Canada develops its national implementation strategy.
It's been kind of crazy, a bit surreal on how much we've accomplished in just a few short months.
It makes me really hopeful for the future of my own community to be able to see those organizations and hopefully want to get involved in them more.
I like being a part of something that's never been done before in Canada.
Your work at the end of the day is going towards something related to sustainable development.